Hello YouTube friends. This is a follow-up video to the one I just recently released regarding the Griffin Armaments Optimus suppressor. As you know from that first video, and as you probably know from looking at Optimus specs, it's a multi-caliber device that allows you to use the same suppressor for anything from 22 all the way up to 9 millimeter. We did that first round of testing across multiple platforms, multiple firearms, multiple calibers, as well as multiple sonic and supersonic and subsonic rounds. In this case, one of the things I wanted to play around with that I did not do in the first video was the 3-lug adapter. The 3-lug adapter requires a muzzle adapter, the 3-lug, and then of course it requires a suppressor adapter, which you can see there. When you do that, however, it only will screw into the larger piece of the two-part suppressor body itself. So this piece, the smaller piece, is not used when you use a 3-lug adapter. So what I was interested in was how much of a difference in sound level do you get if you go from the long tube, what I call the long tube, when you have two pieces put together with all the baffling, versus the 3-lug adapter version, which would only be the 3-lug plus the longer of the two tubes, but only one tube. So that was the purpose of this testing. I'm going to show you the video of that. Again, the two firearms, I used my Ruger American Predator 6.5 Creedmoor. So I had supersonic and subsonic ammo for that. And I also used my Smith & Wesson M&P 22 long rifle. Now I apologize, a couple times in the video I kept saying Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, which obviously is an AR type platform. My mistake. Again, I did it a couple times. I caught myself too late. But in any case, it's a Smith & Wesson M&P 22 long rifle, semi-automatic with a threaded barrel. And so I was able to include the 3-lug adapter and use it for this testing. The purposes, as I mentioned, is just to make sure that I understand how much loss of sound suppression do we get if I go from the long tube non-3-lug to the 3-lug short tube configuration. One other thing I want to apologize for up front, there's a lot of wind noise that kicked up about halfway through the testing, so by the time I get to the 22 long rifle pistol, you hear a lot of wind in the background. I think you can still hear what I'm saying, but in general, I did everything in order of the sheets you're going to see. So basically, in quick summary now, and you can freeze the video if you want to get the details again, but basically, with this, I started with the rifle, the Ruger American Predator 6.5 Creedmoor. So I started with the lower section here, but I went from left to right. So I started out with no suppressor supersonic, no suppressor subsonic. Then I went and did the long tube screwed to the barrel. Again, supersonic first, followed by subsonic. And then I did the 3-lug short tube configuration, supersonic and then subsonic. So you can see the results here. If you freeze the video, you can write these down, whatever you want to do. The most important takeaway is that it does make a difference with the rifle. It didn't make much of a difference at all with the pistol. The pistol was quiet, about the same level of noise, regardless of which suppressor configuration you had. However, the pistol, or the rifle, the Ruger American Predator, had quite a big jump in relative noise level when you had the short configuration compared to the long configuration. That was a takeaway. You've got all the final results here. You've got the summary. If you'd like to watch some of the video, just continue to watch. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Okay, for the supersonic 6.5 Creedmoor ammo that we're going to be using for the Ruger American Predator, we're going to use the 143 grain ELDX Hunter. So that'll be the supersonic ammo, and this will be the first test. Now, as before, as with the earlier testing, we're going to be using these subsonic rounds. This is a custom reload using Trail Boss powder and a Norma Vulcan 156 grain bullet. Again, 6.5 Creedmoor. So here will be the test with the Subsonic. Okay, now we're going back to Supersonic. We're going with the long tube suppressor using the standard screw-on lug. Okay, this is now the Ruger American Predator long tube of the suppressor, screw-on type, and subsonic ammo. Okay, now as you can see, I've got this short tube with a 3-lug adapter. So I put the 3-lug adapter back on the rifle, and now I've got the 3-lug connection system. And of course, you have to use a short tube. So now we're going to see what it looks like when you have a supersonic round, 6.5 Creedmoor Ruger American Predator rifle with the 3-lug adapter using the short tube. And now we've got Subsonic again through the short tube using the 3-lug adapter and the Ruger American Predator 6.5 Creedmoor Subsonic. Okay, now we're switching over to the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 long rifle. Going to be the same study. We're going to basically look at a 3-lug mount versus the long tube versus unsuppressed. So right now the first shots are going to be supersonic ammo, or at least theoretically supersonic ammo. We had this same discussion in the previous video. Even the supersonic ammo through the barrel of the unsuppressed pistol tends to be subsonic, but nonetheless, the first round will be supersonic, and then we'll switch over to subsonic unsuppressed. Okay, Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 unsuppressed supersonic. Okay, Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 unsuppressed. Next up, Smith & Wesson M&P 22 pistol This is the long tube suppressor threaded to the barrel. Smith & Wesson M&P 22 pistol, long tube suppressor threaded to the barrel, subsonic ammo. I'm sorry about the wind. The wind is kicking up out here. I'm not sure how much of this is getting picked up on audio. In any case, now we've got the short barrel suppressor with the 3-lug adapter on the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 long rifle pistol. And this will be supersonic ammo. Okay, we're down to our final test. We've got subsonic ammo. We've got the 3-lug adapter short tube suppressor on the Smith & Wesson M&P 22 long rifle pistol. Subsonic ammo.